Hello, everybody. Welcome to our YouTube channel for CTD Development Services Incorporated. Thank you for visiting and watching this video. I hope you find it entertaining, enlightening, more than anything, motivating even more. Yeah, the name of the video is Analyzing the Outcomes of the 2019 Google Diversity Report, a search for answers to questions about why Latinos remain far underrepresented in the places that matter. Alrighty, this is just part one of a 4-video series. I originally started making this video because I put out a request to my friends on Facebook to learn a little bit about us, get the word out if they liked what we were doing here at CT Development Services Incorporated, which I will refer to as CTDDS from here on out. And yeah, you know, some of you guys are real friends. I mean, geez, the work that I've seen some of you put out there that do just to get the word out about, you know, our purpose, our mission. I'm really grateful. And so what I wanted to do was to provide, you know, those that are giving a helping hand, some more information about who we are, what we do specifically, and why we do it. And so today we start with the why, right? This is the context. This is what gave birth to CTDDS. And so it started with looking at diversity data, something that I've been paying attention to since I was back in high school. You know, it was a motivator for me to see that we were always underrepresented, Latinos, I'm speaking about, always underrepresented in what appeared to be everything that mattered, from universities, and within the universities, underrepresented in the STEM courses and majors, and in the corporate leadership, just in corporate positions overall. And so I wasn't thinking about this when I heard on the radio, you know, this news story about on KPCC on public radio about, you know, Google had this diversity report. I'd never heard about it. Apparently, it'd been out since 2014. They put it out yearly ever since. And yeah, the part that caught my attention was, here we are again, and you know, they didn't give the specifics, but of course, African Americans and Latinos all the way at the bottom as far as workforce representation and new hires, representation in the body of new hires, you know, every year. And so what happened is, when I heard the story, I thought for a while, how could Google, the most powerful and influential company, or one of the most influential corporations on earth, I mean, politicians, you know, members of Congress are afraid of going head to head with the likes of Google, because there could be consequences in your information on social media, on the web, and that's the way to communicate with the masses these days. And so how could they not get it right? And you know, part of me, I just started thinking, well, if they don't have a high representation of Latinos and African Americans within the company, they probably went outside of the company to look for help, and they probably asked the wrong people. And you know, I really believe that, because I think that this issue of diversifying the staff at Google is not going to be, or doesn't have to be, as challenging as it, you know, they even acknowledge that it is. And so, you know, the reason why, you know, I thought is because I have a friend, his name is Mario Sanchez, that I've worked with for years, you know, and we've been friends for years. And he has this finger on the pulse of the community, at least here in South Bay. You know, we're talking about Inglewood, Linwood, I'm not Linwood, what is it called? Inglewood, Torrance, you know, Torrance, Gardena, Lenox. I mean, these are all communities that he has. In Hawthorne, he has a lot of relationships in. I mean, I'm talking about a lot, because he's worked in the schools in Inglewood, and he's worked in soccer in all, you know, the entire South Bay. And he's, you know, he's a giving guy. Many people feel indebted to him. Kids look up to him. Parents appreciate him. And I thought, okay, we have access to, you know, a large pool of youth. We can identify the best and brightest, I know how to get my foot in the door. I can teach others how to get their foot in the door. I've attended, the best, one of the best high schools in the country, one of the best universities in the country, worked for a world-class organization, certified world-class. And so with our two big heads combined and with our connections and our relationships to the Latino community and the African American community actually too, in Inglewood at the very least, we could do some damage. We could make a dent in that representation number that Google is struggling with right now. And so our goal was this, or our mission, I should say, was we're going to find, develop, and deploy not just candidates, but undeniably qualified candidates from the LA City area and their neighboring cities for tech positions at Silicon Beach corporations. So not just Google, but Silicon Beach corporations, because they all, have similar standards, similar requirements. So maybe Google attracts the best of the best. And so if we were able to get folks into that arena, then hell, we're really good, and I really believe that we are. And so I said a little bit earlier, let me just step back for a moment. Here, I'm not gonna, like I said, this is just part 1 of 4. You're gonna want to hear the rest of this story. I promise you, you're gonna want to hear the rest of this. Is just about, how poorly we continue to do as, minorities, and being underrepresented in positions where it matters, right? It's like Google. You want to work for Google. Why not? They're the most influential, powerful corporation in the country, maybe even in the world. And if you want to be successful, if you want to be part of the future, that's where I would go. And maybe I will after doing all this. But right now, the key is to get the kids in, right? To get the youth in or young adults in. Just got to demystify it. Just like when Mario and I used to do, we worked with kids. I was a teacher. I was a consultant in Inglewood Unified. And Mario was, he was just the community guy, the soccer guy, right? Plus he worked in IT for the district. And back then the goal was get him into college, get him into college, get him into college. And we got him in. And same thing, we just demystified. Once you just help people get over their fear of the unknown, you can make a difference. You can do damage. And so anybody that Mario coached went to college, whether it was a 2-year college, 4-year college, community college, but they went to college, they had a college experience, and that alone grows your income, right? And, I would work with the parents. I would, teach them how to be academic partners. I would show them, I would teach them about the A through G requirements to gain admittance into a UC. And then, when I was a teacher, I would show my students, I take 1 class period out of the year, and we'd walk through filling out the application for a UC, for, University of California campus. And that's all it took. Then it was just about hitting the books, taking the right classes, hitting the books, and a lot of kids got in, man. It was that simple. A little bit of encouragement, a little bit of guidance, a little bit of support, and that's,